Hiya folks, I'm Grim, and welcome to Grim Grooves, a channel where I react to and review music of all kinds. Today we'll be checking out a little something different. This is A Grand Tale of Time and Darkness from Pokémon Mystery Dungeon, and we'll also be doing Don't Ever Forget, another song from this game. I've never played any of these games, but I've always been intrigued. Like, Pokemon music in general is amazing. I always love Pokemon music. I love Nintendo music. There's always a risk doing these types of songs on YouTube because you never know how Nintendo's going to be. I mean, we all know Nintendo. But at the same time, again, their music is exceptional. It's absolutely amazing. It always is. But I've never played any of the Mystery Dungeon games, so I have no idea what kind of music there would be. But I almost guarantee it's going to be amazing because, again, Nintendo just doesn't miss when it comes to the music and stuff like that. So I'm excited to check this out. Check both of these out, to be honest. But if you got anything else you'd like me to check out, throw it down in the comments. This one was requested several times by a couple people, but mainly Red Sky, so this one's for you. And yeah, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe so I can continue to do crazy stuff like this. But without further ado, let's check out The Grand Tale of Time and Darkness. Awesome name. I get the feeling this might be like a theme song for the game. It has definitely that like fanfare of like just high energy, like adventurous feelings. Like that's the type of vibe you get from this, and like the kind of 8-bit soundscape or 16-bit, whatever it is. Like it has that kind of like crunchy chip tune melody feel to it. Like I'm not sure if this game is from like the Game Boy Advanced or the DS or whatever it is, but I honestly love that soundscape. Like I grew up playing those types of games, and so I'll always enjoy a good like kind of chip tune style melody or elements of that. And it definitely gives me vibes of like early Final Fantasy games as well, like that kind of soundscape as well. It's very good so far, very interesting. Just yeah, very diverse. Now we get like an inkling of something like mystical or something like that, like the kind of choir like vocalizations there, which again with the like 8-bit soundscape and then the bells and things like that, it feels like something like otherworldly or something like godly or something like that, like inklings of that kind of vibe from there. It's also just a very beautiful melody, like, and typical with Pokemon music, like it's very like wholesome, very kind of upbeat and happy, although this part here is getting a little more like tense and ominous a little bit, because again it's like it almost feels like the theme for some kind of godlike creature, maybe some god Pokemon or something like that, and this is the section of the song that's more dedicated to that, or like just focusing on the kind of otherworldly elements to this story or whatever. Because at the beginning we had just very much like a fanfare kind of melody, and it was very good. But now we're getting into again more of a diverse, kind of again ominous, otherworldly elements. But it's very interesting. Oh, that was great. Great way to end it. But yeah, and the melody in the background, it's a similar melody that we've heard from like things like Undertale and even other Pokemon games. It's almost like a lullaby element to it. The like, I wouldn't say piano, but like it's like the synth piano elements there that was near the end. Well, that was very interesting. So on to the next one. Don't Ever Forget. That was a fantastic melody. Like the different layers too. Like even though it's all kind of synth melodies or chiptune melodies, like it, they're always very good at like creating within their soundscape in such diverse ways in Pokemon music. Because again, they're typically done on like handheld mobile systems or whatever, and yeah, it's very interesting. Very good melody there. Again, very reminiscent to me of like early Final Fantasy music because I just played a lot of those, and even early Pokemon music as well. Like it would fit very well in like a town in again early Pokemon stuff. But they're great melodies, and I'm curious to see how this is going to build because this is a bit of a longer one. This one's so touching and beautiful. Like again, even though it's in the kind of 8-bit soundscape, like you can hear that there was like the violin coming in before, and like this main melody is almost like a piano melody, and you have like the inklings of like I don't know, bells or kind of chimes every once in a while, like maybe a xylophone melody going on there. But it's very interesting and very again hopeful, very peaceful, very beautiful, like very touching as well. Like there's you can tell there's a bit of sadness to this as well. Maybe that's what Don't Ever Forget means, or I don't know. But this probably happens at a more impactful moment of the game. But very, very beautiful melodies though. It would be so cool to see an orchestral version of this song, like because don't get me wrong, like I said, I love like the 8-bit soundscape and the kind of chip tune synth kind of melodies here. They're absolutely fantastic, but it would just be interesting to see this converted to like again a full-on orchestra and having each individual instrument taking out like over with something that's not just a synth element to it. Which again, this is fantastic as it is. I'd just be interested to see that as well because it's just interesting to see the difference between the two for when they do that type of thing because they were so limited in these kinds of tools they had to make the music like this. And so yeah, just seeing it at its full potential with all the different instruments and the full orchestra and stuff would be fantastic. But this is also again exceptional. This main like bridge, this main chorus here, whatever, is very, very good. And you can hear the percussion in the backgrounds. Like it's very simple, very just like bum bum bum. But it helps to add that like round out the melody even more because this main core kind of piano melody we got here going is absolutely fantastic. Like it's very catchy, and they just keep building like other elements on top of it, like bringing in a little bit of the I don't know, just different synth elements because it's hard to really gauge which synth elements they are because it's just all chip tune or just very modified elements. But still, it's absolutely beautiful. Wow. Look at the last couple seconds. Oh, that was it. But yeah, that was exceptional. Like, again, it almost had a bit of the lullaby elements too, just like the last one did, near the end anyways. But it was really interesting in how it kind of evolved and just grew, like, being within the kind of 8-bit soundscape. There's, like I said, there's only so much you can do with just like the diversity of instruments and things like that, because a lot of things sound kind of somewhat similar. And like, even me listening back, it's like it's hard to parse which parts of the song are like a violin, or what's the strings, or like, because it's all kind of similar. But it's also just very beautiful. Like, again, I love this soundscape. I love the 8-bit synth soundscape. Like, I grew up with it. So all that kind of music I love. And this is no different. Like, it very much is in the same vein as most Pokemon music you hear, especially for Game Boy era Pokemon music and stuff. And that's not a bad thing, because they make absolutely fantastic music. Like, there's a video series on YouTube, I can't remember who it's by, but they like showed professional like Mozart or Beethoven like scholar kind of thing, a bunch of Pokemon music, and they have to like try and figure out which is Pokemon music and which one's Mozart or Beethoven or whatever. And it's really interesting because they get it wrong a lot of the time, just because of how well made Pokemon music is, and you can hear the classical influences in the music, even though it's, again, 8-bit and things like that. But it's absolutely phenomenal how well they're done, and it doesn't matter which game you choose it from. Like, Pokemon music is just always absolutely phenomenal. And like, you can say what you want about the games. Some people don't like some of the games here and there, but the music is always on point. And personally, I love the games too. Like, even Scarlet and Violet I really enjoyed. I may be in the minority there, but regardless, yeah, that was fantastic. I really like that music, and I'll have to check out more from Mystery Dungeon. If you guys got anything else you'd like me to check out from these games, then yeah, feel free to let me know. And also, I've got a Patreon now, so thank you to all my Patreon supporters, and it means a lot, all the support and stuff. But until next time, later days, folks.